Thank you for choosing Sonic. How may I help you?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the large diet cherry limeade.
Okay. Anything else?
That'll be it.
Alright, you're 272. Thank you.
Appreciate it, thanks. Hey everyone, how are you? I'm Randy Floyd and you're watching episode 9 of the Ask Midwest Anxiety Show.
When this life gets a little tough, the people start to run. Well, don't you just walk away? That's when I'll say, well, don't give up.
So hey, how are you guys? Here at one of my favorite summer places, Sonic Diet Cherry Limeade. Really love the Diet Cherry Limeades. We're about in summer mode here. I know a lot of schools are already out for the summer. Some are getting out this week. It is a little chilly though. Brr! The thought of getting a swimming pool right now, I'm not so sure about that, but hey, Route 44 Diet Cherry Limeade. Actually a large cherry limeade. Can't beat it. Here we are, another show, episode 9. Really love doing this show. Have loved your comments. Have loved just connecting with people and just answering their questions. You know, this show's all about answering your questions. We all have things that we might struggle with, and sometimes we don't know how to kind of deal with those things, and so this show is all about just trying to answer your questions and hopefully get you to think a little bit about how you might manage those day-to-day struggles. I'm here also just to inspire you, hopefully on a daily basis, just to not only work through those struggles, but to know that you're awesome, to know that we're awesome, we're all awesome. So yeah, so I just had a little bit of time in between some client sessions, and I thought I'd stop off at Sonic, get something to drink, and just do a show. So how about it? Should we get into the show? Let's do it. So one of the first questions, can you say something about anxiety that you've never have said on the show before? Wow, great question. Can I say something about anxiety that I haven't said before? Well, I'm not really sure. I know one thing I haven't gone into detail a whole lot about on the show is I really want people to kind of think about their own anxieties and understand and put them in relation to each other. We all have different things that we may be anxious about. So for me, Ferris wheels and noisy ceiling fans is really high on my list, where speaking to people is really low on my list of things that I might be fearful of. And I think we've got to really think about anxiety and things that we're anxious about on a continuum. There are some things that make us a little bit anxious, some things that may make us moderately anxious, and then some things that really make us really anxious. And I think one of the things that I see, especially from people that struggle with anxiety a lot, is they like to put everything makes them anxious, and not everything, and not only does everything make them anxious, but it has the same degree of anxiety. And one reason why I want you to put it kind of on a continuum, low, medium, high, just to make it easy, is for you to start to understand that there are some things that you can manage, some anxious things that you can manage better than others. So for us to start to kind of understand and put these situations on a scale, I think really hopefully it'll give you some confidence that not everything in the world makes you totally anxious, and start to believe that there are some things that you can manage and handle better than others. So I know I haven't talked about that a whole lot. I'm starting to just in your own life, starting to just put things on a scale, but I would encourage you just to take out a piece of paper or something and just write some things on that lower end of that anxiety scale, maybe treat it kind of like you would think of a pain scale or something like that. But these are the things that make me a little bit anxious. Here's some things that make me moderately anxious, and then here's some things that are really make me really anxious. And one way that you might want to kind of tackle those things is start really low on that scale of the things that make you anxious, and work through those, and then gradually go up that scale until you get to those things that might be a little higher. So hopefully that helps you. I have anxiety that I'm going to come down with some terrible illness. I can't stop checking the internet. Can you help? Great question. This is something that I know something that a lot of us struggle with, is just this fear that I'm going to get some illness, or you know, something bad's going to happen to me or something like that. I'm gonna get really sick. I think the last part of this question is really the part that I want to focus on. I can't stop checking the internet. Now, one thing that you guys have heard from me when I've talked before and this word can't comes up, we got to really focus on that can't. You can stop checking the internet, but when you do stop checking the internet, that anxiety probably goes up some. So your anxiety goes up, and once your anxiety goes up, that may be really hard to tolerate. And so your way to kind of reduce the anxiety would go to check it, right? And that checking behavior relieves it for the short term, but for the long term, you just kind of have to keep checking. So it might feel like you can't stop, but you can. It's a matter of will or won't. So instead of saying can't, I won't. And now that becomes a choice. And so I think the goal to stop checking it would be to try as long as you can. Maybe set little micro goals for yourself that, okay, today, if I feel like I need to check the internet, I'm gonna wait 5 minutes before I check it. And if I still need to check it after 5 minutes, then I will. And then maybe the next day you say 5.5 minutes, and then 6 minutes before you check it. And then you kind of gradually increase the amount of time. But the goal, guys, really is when we're talking about health and those things, is rather than going to the internet and trying to diagnose yourself and those kind of things, is really just put your confidence in your physician. You know, definitely get a good medical exam, and make sure you're following the schedule of getting that exam from your physician. I think a lot of times we struggle with when, you know, we think that we're going to come down with something, cancer or something like that. We kind of go to the doctor, or we go to the emergency room, and that's kind of like checking the internet. Is the more you do that, the more you kind of get in that kind of rhythm that I've always got to be going to the doctor, and then I think that can be a concern. And because now you created this kind of cycle of, I've got this fear of I'm going to get sick, and now you've created a cycle. So I think the way to stop all of this is to really continue to increase the time between your checking behavior, but also, here's the key to all this that I really believe, is this idea that I can handle it. So if you can kind of really dig deep and do some really good work in thinking about this, is to be able to say, you know, I got this anxiety that I'm going to get cancer, and I know that anxiety plays tricks on me, so I'm not going to check. I'm not going to check at all. Because I know my brain's playing tricks, and so I'm going to think that I don't have cancer. I'm going to really believe that I don't. But if I do, if I go to the doctor the next time, and the doctor says, oh, we've got to do some lab work, and it comes back that I do have cancer. Well, guys, here's the thing about with anxiety, to really relieve that anxiety, is to say that you know what? I'll just handle it. While it's not going to be fun, it's not something I choose, you know, I just really am going to handle it. And so if you can get to a place with kind of most, if not all, the things in your life, you say, I'll just handle it. If it happens, it happens. Then I think that's a really good place for you to be able to settle, is to be able to say, instead of checking, instead of me worrying about if I have some medical issue, some illness, that my problem solving is going to be that I'll just handle it and I'll get through it. I'll get through it the best as I can. Handling it doesn't mean that you are going to be good with it. It just means that you'll get through it. And I think that's a key point here, is that you'll get through it, and really have a mindset that I will be able to get through it. So hopefully that helps. I encourage you to not check as much. All right, this is a good question. When I saw this question, I really thought, I'm excited to answer this question. I really am. Let's say that all the chips are stacked against me. Life is just really hard with lots of struggles. How do you get out of it? Yeah, so here's the thing with this, is that one of the things that I think that is that people can't take away your effort. People can't take away your determination. That is solely up to you on how much that you're going to push through those struggles. And I know you guys have heard me say this a lot. I totally believe that that even though you struggle, the more effort, the more that you put in to working through those struggles, the more success, the better off you're going to be. But it takes putting in effort, and I think that goes along with anything. I think effort and just putting in really good effort is really, really important. And I think that's if you're at school, at work, we can't always determine the outcome. Can't always determine the outcome. We may not always get A on a test. We may not always get a promotion at work, but what we can control is our effort. And I really do believe that effort separates people apart. Those that put in little effort, those that put in some effort, but those that put in a lot of effort. I think effort is the key to how much success that you're going to have. So if I believe in one thing about people making progress through their struggles, it's how much are you going to push up against that struggle. You guys have heard me say before, sometimes when I do this show, it's kind of like, oh boy, I got to get in front of that camera and I got to answer these questions and I got to do this and I got to do that. And sometimes that is, it can be tiring, I mean, I love doing this. I love connecting with you guys, but I could easily just sit here at Sonic, drink that diet cherry limeade and just enjoy myself. Maybe catch up on news or something. But I'm putting out the effort. I want to put out the effort to connect with you guys, to give you value, to hopefully answer some of your questions with the idea that this helps you. And so I'm willing to put that effort out. But some days it's hard to put out the effort. So guys, effort I think is one of the keys to success. You may not be the smartest, you may not be the most athletic, but you can always put out hustle, put out effort. So encourage you, put out effort as much as you can. Well, this has been awesome. Episode 9 here at Sonic. Got a question for you guys. What is your favorite thing when you come to Sonic? You guys put that in the comments section. Is it the, what is that, the chili cheese coney? The chili cheese coney. Maybe you like the onion rings. Maybe the shakes. Maybe Sonic drink. Well, who knows what it would be. But tell me what you guys like at Sonic. Also, guys, I'd love to answer your questions. I would love to answer your questions. Oh, what's going on here? They're playing little tricks on us here at Sonic. They're playing little tricks on us. I'd love to answer your questions. Go to any of our social media Hashtag AskMidwestAnxiety. Hashtag AskMidwestAnxiety on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Ask us your question, and then I would love to answer your question on a future episode. It's been good, guys. Really enjoyed episode 9. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these episodes. Tell me things that you would like to see me add to the show. Maybe just tell me something what you like, what maybe you don't like about the show. I totally want to keep adjusting this for you guys. So anyway, you guys take good care. Peace.
When this life gets a little tough, the people start to run.